You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dini Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit dollarseed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. Dollarseed.com. What could be healthier?
Hello. What is going on? Welcome to another incredible episode of Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio, and I'm your host, Dini. I must say this particular episode is pre-recorded, and I can't wait to deliver it to your inboxes. And for you guys who subscribe to the show, you'll be the first to know, and I appreciate that. All right. Before we bring our guest on, I do want to say you have to plan it. What are you talking about, Dini? Okay, check it out. So, do you know what's going to happen tomorrow? Of course, you cannot know for sure, yet, with careful planning, you'll have a much better idea. Do you ever find yourself wondering what to do next? With a good plan, you'll spend less time wondering and more time doing. Me, myself, I have a to-do list. And my to-do list has a to-do list, and I think there's several more just scattered about. And sometimes I could get in the habit of just building up to-dos and not really doing the to-dos. But hey, this is mere man talk, right? But anyway, have you ever, made a trip to the store, forgotten to buy like a certain item, then had to go right back? What if you lived 100 miles away from the nearest store? If that was the case, every time you traveled to the store, you would carefully plan what to get to avoid the need for an unnecessary trip. If you did forget something important, however, it would be possible to go back again, but it would be a lot of trouble. So if you would learn to plan each trip very carefully. And with that in mind, consider that you only have one chance to live each day. There's no way you can go back and live it again. So planning for even more important than planning a 200-mile round trip to a store. When you can plan each day and follow your plan, there's so much more you can get done. The time you spend planning will pay for itself many times over. So make a plan, follow the plan, and get the very most of each moment. I'm taking notes as well. Take that from me, Coach Dini. That is my word, and word is bond.
Have you struggled budgeting your finances? Don't worry, you're not alone. HumbledBudget.com, that's HumbledBudget.com, is the help and resource you've been searching for. HumbledBudget.com is a personal finance and educational website with a great variety of topics when it comes to budgeting, taxes, investing, and the popular topic of FIRE, financial independence, retire early. HumbledBudget.com has a goal, and that's to help you reach your financial dreams, no matter what your goals are when it comes to finances. It doesn't matter where you start, where you come from, or where you are right now. HumbledBudget.com can help. What are you waiting for? Take that first step to the financial life you've dreamed of and go to HumbledBudget.com. That's HumbledBudget. HumbledBudget.com.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You are listening to VRL, That's Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio, and I'm your host, Dini. Our interviews are designed to go beyond the music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings, you know, the ones who are out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. With that, let's welcome our guest, Ilona Lazdane, to the show. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Dini.
You're welcome. Well, first and foremost, I want to make sure that I did get your name correct.
Oh, my name has never been correct since the time I was born. The nurse messed up 3 certificates, birth certificates.
No.
So, yeah, it started when I was born. So my name is Ilona, and last name is Lazdane, and you almost got it right.
Okay. Lazdane.
Yeah.
So where did that name come from? What's the story behind it?
So I am originally from Latvia, Eastern Europe. I grew up overseas, and I moved to the United States in my 20s and started my skincare career here in the United States. I reside in Columbus, Ohio currently.
Okay. Wow. That's a big adventure. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty brave. I can say that.
Yeah. Okay. So your initial thoughts on moving over here to the States, like how long did it take you to just, okay, let's do it. I'm on the plane or the boat and I'm going.
We make different decisions based on the seasons in our life, and I was going through a very rough time, and I lost my mother, and she was very ill. So I decided to take a leap of faith and just change my life completely after she had passed on. So that's where I took that leap of faith and moved to a different country, a different continent, etc.
Absolutely. Yes. Tragic. I'm sorry to hear that, but
Thank you.
That's what we must do, right? Keep moving forward.
Yeah, and see for what you're made of. Just test yourself to the max. See what you're made of. Really learn about life.
Absolutely. We could choose to stay in that, an environment. If we choose to stay there, it's cool if you decide that. But there's life continues. The world keeps spinning, keep evolving. So welcome to the States.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. So have you received any strange requests to improve your appearance?
So I've worked in cosmetic settings, starting from like cosmetic counters in the United States when I just moved here, to medical spa settings, to regular spa settings. And I meet women and men all the time with, sometimes they disclose to me what they're not very confident about. Sometimes, they want to be discreet about it. And sometimes they straight up ask me something really ridiculous where I think like, oh my gosh, did this just happen? Did she just voice this request? So the most unusual, and this is probably true with a lot of providers in medical field, I'm sure other doctors, MDs, dermatologists see this more and more with social media. A girl came to me and she asked me to make her look like her Instagram filter, like make her look like one of her Instagram filters. And I have very wild imagination as a provider. I was like, well, I have artistic kind of eye, and I was thinking, okay, which one is it? Like, I hope it's not the fox or the cat. Like, I really hope it's like something really like that looks like a human.
Yeah.
So social media definitely affects women, the way they view themselves. Obviously I told her that I can't do that. It's not realistic. But yeah, I've had requests like that.
Wow. And I want to talk about that later, especially about social media and,
Sure.
the effects of self-image, self-esteem, and where we're headed with that.
Sure.
Absolutely. How did that request make you feel?
I've talked to other providers in the same boat. I go to trainings with other dermatology providers or like aesthetic providers or MDs that perform aesthetics, I usually ask them, how do you deal with clients? Like, what do you tell her? Because it's really not fair to the client, because some people are literal. So they see the media, they see a girl on a yacht with a very, affluent lifestyle. They see that, they feel it, that the aesthetics will come with a new house, new lifestyle, new job, because it's been promised to them in the marketing, industry, those magazines. Some people are just literal. They think that aesthetic procedure will give them everything, but this is just Botox, just small improvement, It doesn't come with new lifestyle. So I usually, when I face clients like that, it makes me feel very sad for myself, the industry, and just the misleading ways that we, have basically kind of ended up with marketing, over-promising, sort of. It's not fair. And some girls are just really very literal.
Mm. And when was your first exposure to the beauty culture?
You see, I think growing up in Europe, I think at 4 years old, my parents were a little crazy. They were like into art, and it was a thing. It was a cool thing to do. So they would drag me to art galleries. And sometimes, it wasn't like very child appropriate. Like, you see the nude torsos and you just see everything, right? And the way the artists wanted to express themselves. So I saw a lot of, great architecture, great art ever since I can remember. So I think it did affect the way I view aesthetics, how I can see, like, what's her best feature, how can we bring it out, what's her special feature, like, how can we just showcase that a little bit more, so bring out the natural beauty in the person.
Absolutely. I mean, what was like your initial expression? I know you were just plunged into it into a young age, but what was your impression of it?
Oh, professionally, like impression of just art in general, or professionally, like aesthetic beauty industry?
Professional, yeah.
My first impression was that it can be a projection of your emotional, like how you see yourself. So it's very linked. Unfortunately, our skin is the last thing that between us and the world. So a lot of imprints, emotional imprints, can be, people see themselves maybe how they feel emotionally. That's very obvious to me. That was very evident. The most beautiful girl can feel sometimes not, just like she cannot appreciate any of her beauty if she is emotionally somehow, affected or has trauma and stuff like that.
Yeah. Has your perception of the beauty industry changed since your first exposure?
Yes, definitely. Because it does evolve. When I got to the United States, I felt that, oh my gosh, they barely do facials. Oh my gosh, they've never heard of microdermabrasion. Oh my gosh. And actually, it was kind of a transition for me to see where the industry was in comparison to Europe. However, I'm so glad that a lot of things have evolved very rapidly, over the years. I'm really happy to see that. And at the same time, people are overdoing things now, in my opinion.
Yeah. And because I'm a man and I see this becoming a thing, it's slowly progression. Men are more comfortable now talking about it. I don't know in what kind of space, because I don't think I'm there yet. We're, just sitting around a bunch of men like, hey, what kind of cream? But but let me ask a professional, yourself. Where would someone begin, when developing a skincare routine for men?
So guys are, like, I really feel bad for guys because it's a very female-dominated space, right? So, like, I've seen guys in the spa settings become extremely out of character. They really don't know the etiquette. It's really, like, they don't want to be seen or acknowledged. It's, like, awkward for them. But it's they're getting adjusted to it. But sometimes it's awkward. So I know guys understand cleansing the skin very well. They understand my skin has to be clean. It's it makes sense to them. So if I were a guy, I would get a cleanser, like a cleanser that does everything. Like exfoliator can be wrapped up in a cleanser, like AHA, BHA acids, like fruit acids, they will exfoliate the skin. Sometimes cleansers can come with the beads. Like I would wrap any property you want in your skincare in your cleanser, because you can stick it in your shower. It would be like one step, one and done. And sunblock, because sun really does unfortunately age us and create like dark spots, unsightly, things that are really hard to reverse. So I would just focus sunblock, maybe moisturize with the sunblock. Sometimes moisturizers come with SPF. So like two-step skincare, like very basic, and then build on it later, like if you want to add a serum. But just, find things that you like and start using them. Because even a good cleanser, if you're breaking out, for instance, it can actually resolve it. Like if it's superficial, if it's not serious, it can help quite a bit.
Absolutely. So here's my predicament as well. There's a lot of products out there, and I'm in a stage where I'm trying a bunch of things, and unfortunately, a lot of those things don't come in trial sizes. So I have to, go through the entire jar just to see if I like it or not, and I don't like it. So maybe you can invent something like that. But and you know what? I think all sexes like have this thing about choosing which products are best for their skin type. What is your advice on that?
You see, we're very sensory beings, so we want to smell it. We want to make sure it doesn't feel slimy. We want to make sure it foams up just right. It's like, the foam is there. So it's very much, honestly, I would be bold and I would ask for trial sizes. Like if you go to stores such as Sephora or cosmetic counters, those people would be glad to give you like a little squeeze, like a little trial size for you to try. And then you can actually make your mind up and see if this is something for you. I would say also in the industry, they're overusing non-herb like, not organic things. If you're sensitive to a lot of things, I would just go, as clean as possible with your skincare. And if you have allergies or your skin gets irritated, but yeah, be bold, ask for samples. They're going to gladly give some to you if you request those, and just try and see if this is something for you. But yeah, I understand it's overwhelming. It is so overwhelming with all the products out there.
I didn't know that. Thanks for that tip.
Thank you.
So a major factor in all of this is self-care. How would you describe self-care?
You see, self-care goes beyond just, you were talking about mindfulness and planning and writing things down, and I could just very much relate to that. It just, being centered and focused. I think self-care goes beyond that. It goes beyond just being centered. It goes into more managing stress and creating self-awareness. For instance, I'll give you an example. When I was working in psychiatric settings as a nurse, I was helping a lot of patients in distress, going through very, very horrible situations, very stressful things in their life, and I didn't realize that I was having PTSD until I was in the store and someone just let me ahead of them and I jumped. I was just startled. I realized I'm having symptoms of PTSD. Sometimes professionals don't realize that they're getting depressed, burned out, all of that. Creating self-awareness and rituals to manage those things, and also talking to someone, is essential. There is a very, very sad story I'm going to bring up. I don't know if you know the pageant Miss USA 2019, Chesley Christ. She was Miss USA pageant queen. She was extremely, extremely accomplished female. She was a lawyer. She was a media person. She had everything. She had, great lifestyle, beauty. She had everything in her life, except she was depressed, and she was high functioning depressed person. And when in 2022, she took her life by jumping from her condo in New York City. This was really shocking to me to know that someone can have everything. She had everything, use, money, status, everything. But none of that mattered because she did not attend to her mental well-being.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, do you date yourself?
I think before you establish like romantic relationships, you really have to kind of know what you want and also have a great relationship with yourself. I agree. Yeah, I don't know if you could elaborate on what do you mean date yourself?
Yeah. Do you take yourself on dates? Do you practice some unique ways of self-care?
Yeah, I was told that I was told by someone, actually it was advised by someone in healthcare industry that would be a good idea for self-care, just like, oh, Ilona, darling, where would you like to go today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to listen to my needs, if that's what you're asking. Like, try to understand, like, what is it that I want, what it would not be meaningful to me, what would matter. Yeah, so yeah, I would say yes. And sometimes I go on those dates with my best friends and share the experience.
Absolutely. Mine, I'll go sit in a restaurant by myself in a booth, not like at the bar or, a two-seater, but at a full booth, just by myself enjoying steak. That's my date.
Oh my gosh, do people crash your party? Because people crash my party all the time.
My wife does when she she finds my location. Yeah.
That's awesome. This is great.
Yeah. But other than that is peace for me. I think people find it weird to dine by yourself, but not me.
I can relate to quiet dining. Like, you don't want anything. Like, you talk for a living all day long. You just want peace and quiet.
Listen to this music that's playing, But yeah, that's fine. So how do you think social media will continue to impact the mental health of participants in the beauty culture?
You see, it drives the industry, definitely the beauty industry. It benefits the beauty industry in so many ways. So I can't speak that it's all bad. The only thing I think that girls have to understand, and boys too, is that they can use it to their advantage and not to project, negative self-image or feel like, oh, this girl is better than me or she's more beautiful than me, and get conscious. So to understand, to always listen to yourself and put yourself first, and use the social media, use the online, whatever the platforms, for their own education or whatever benefits they get out of it, but not obviously not get addicted to it, or be more self-aware, self-conscious, etc.
How can social media positively impact the beauty culture and mental health?
It's a great outlet for messages. Like, if people have genuine, beautiful stories, like, say someone was struggling with body image and they wanted to share that in a very genuine way, in a very authentic way, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. So, on the up and up, sometimes I feel this in my soul that we are headed towards great times, beauty is seen past a race. And then other times, it is those lines and barriers. But what is the most significant aspect of beauty?
You touched upon the race, and I have to, unfortunately, I think everything is headed to kind of basically piggyback off what you said. I think everything is headed to kind of oneness, merging of oneness. This is what I'm feeling. I don't know, maybe it's just the world according to Ilona, but I think, and then we have all this diversity, so many beautiful people, in the world, but the oneness. So I think So I will tell you a story. I kind of tell them long, but sorry, like if it's too long, I'll try to make it short, basically.
Oh, it's you. It's all you. Take it away.
So I will share with you how I arrived to this. So I was at the grocery store in line, buying all my, organic things, just like thinking, oh my gosh, they're gonna like think I'm just a health freak, whatever. And I see this girl ahead of me, like a couple of people ahead of me. She was checking out, and then she was so cute. She had this ponytail bouncing around. I couldn't really quite see her face, but like I could tell she's cute. And I see the guys. I'm like, the guys like looking at her. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, she's the hot number. So like, I'm sure someone was gonna like ask her out in the parking lot. I'm sure there were guys who were like, oh my gosh, she's too cute to pass by. So like, I was like, yeah, she's cute. And then all of a sudden, cashier did something to her disliking, and she became this monster that was ready to bite this cashier's head off. Like the uglies came out, right? And all the guys were like looking for the exit sign, like emergency exit. So I decided that I think, to answer your question, the most beautiful thing in a person is kindness. If they're kind to others around themselves, it makes anybody beautiful. Just think about the pictures of like Mother Teresa. Every wrinkle on her face is just precious. She's just priceless image of someone extremely kind. She's associated with kindness, and that is eternally beautiful, in my opinion. Spreading kindness.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, that is the mission, that is the mission, that is the message, that is the call to action. Just spread kindness, be kind.
I think so. I can totally attest to that.
Yeah. All right. So where can people connect with you online? Where can they learn more about your expertise and what you provide?
So I am currently working on a couple of projects. I do see patients in a clinic that's called Cardinal Aesthetic in a small city of Columbus, Ohio. But yeah, sometimes you can catch me on Facebook, Ilona Lazdane, or on Instagram, Ilona Lazdane. You can follow me. I am working on the book right now. It's not out yet. It's going to be called 108 Faces of the Goddess. It's not out yet, but it's in the works, so that's coming out. And I'm working on an online course, how to get beautiful skin in 90 days. That's coming out as well. Just follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll update you with details.
All right, that sounds wonderful. She's writing a bestseller.
I hope so.
Speak it into existence. No pressure, of course. No pressure. Yes. But yeah, can't wait till it come out. Definitely going to be tuning in as well, just for the secret tips for the men.
Yes, just get that cleanser, stick it in your shower, start cleansing, start exfoliating. It's going to be beautiful. It can make a big difference, huge difference.
All right, thank you so much. All right, we will include all the links in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you listeners, all you have to do is click those links and connect. All right. Well, we want to thank you once again for being our special guest tonight. It was truly an honor having you here with us.
Thank you, Dini. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Rancher Deep Dive is a must-read book for those looking to manage enterprise Kubernetes. Written by leading experts in the field, it provides tools to manage multiple clusters and applications without being locked into a vendor's platform. It covers everything from the basics to advanced techniques for managing large-scale environments and is available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Whether you're a developer, operations engineer, or IT professional, Rancher Deep Dive provides the tools you need to manage Kubernetes with ease. Don't miss out on this must-read book. Order your copy of Rancher Deep Dive today. Available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
Thank you
my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is onlyonemediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request some music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.